Hello, this is Gonzalo from the mixed fencing arts group Berserkers of West Cork in Clonakilty, Ireland. In this video, our first ever, I'll show a very brief explanation of how military saber works so you can practice at home and always remember the knowledge we have gathered. So these are all the guards that we have practiced with the saber. This is for the manual of a British military saber. The first guard is a straight guard. This is a presenting guard. Straight, keep straight. This is a presenting guard. It is pretty much useless, but it is there more of an etiquette to scare the enemy or to present before a duel. Our next one is a outside guard. We're pointing our sword to the outside. This is one of our stronger guards. The next one is inside guard. This is one of our weaker guards, but good for thrust. It will leave your arm exposed. Next one is St. George. This is one of the odd ones. Let's keep your sword more sideways. There you go. What's going on here is your feet are on an L shape and your sword is high above your head. The reason for this is as I do a cut downwards, it will bounce off his blade one way or the other, but it won't bounce off into his legs. Let me show that one more time. When it cut down, it may slide one way or the other, but it won't touch his legs. That's why his legs are in there. All right, hanging guard. So now our sword is hanging to the outside. This is one of our strongest guards, if not the strongest guard. It will cover most angles. Here, here, even here. Lower your sword a bit. There, even there, if you're careful enough. Continue with the hanging guard. Just drop your point and do it like that. Yeah, even there. The problem is when I cut here, then you have to change into another guard. We have inside hanging guard. Yes, there we go. And then we have the full hanging guards. Perfect, there we go. Here I want to show a specific thing about the guards. As you can see, he seems to be on guard, but there's a major problem. His fucking knees. Always bend your knees. There you go. Remember to always bend your knees because... Well, yeah. If you're staying this way, you're going to be able to bounce up and down and around. You're going to be more balanced. You're going to be more stable. If your knees are locked in place, it's going to be really difficult for you to move around. Always remember that. So here I'm showing how the hanging guard works on almost all angles, but I cut 2 to the wrist. So here it comes. When that happens, you have to change into outside guard to protect your wrist. I'm showing how St. George works, the position of your feet and why you put your feet together. As you can see, the sword avoids you if it bounces off. But here I'm also showing how angling your sword can create a parry to a side and how you can riposte from there and to the other side as well. You push the sword to the side and go in with the thrust or other cut with your false edge. So something I like to call short guards work. They're not exactly guards, but they're shown as techniques against the Indian techniques. Basically, you put your arm closer to your body to be able to absorb more impact. Go the 6 cuts of saber. Start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. As you can see, 2 come from the top, 2 come from the bottom, and then going around the head, 1 and 1. I'm showing the 6 cuts starting from hanging guard. I highly recommend you practice not only with hanging guard, but change the guards as you go, as you do different rounds of cuts, just so you build that muscle memory in you. want to show while stopping in the middle. This is excellent for being able to constantly change the position of your blade and be able to do snap cuts very easily. I will see a few drills that you can use to train at home when you don't have anybody else to spar with. The first drill that you can do, as you have seen, are the cuts, the 6 cuts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. You can do that. You can do that by stopping in the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Beautiful. And only using your wrist now. Yeah. Beautiful. Those are the 6 cuts. The other one you can do is ghost practicing, which is something I like to do. Let me show you. No, imagine you're at home and you imagine in your head you have a guy coming here and about to cut your head. You start practicing different techniques, imagining a guy is cutting at you. So let's say, that's fine. So let's imagine a sword is coming over you and you're going to perform a slip. Imagine that for a second. Like that, perfect. The other side. That's fine. Imagine that the guy is cutting down towards your head and you're going to do Saint George to a parry and a cut to the head. Like that? Yeah, perfect. Try to the other side. Yes, perfect. Showing how the saber thrusts. The way you thrust with the saber is by using the shape of the blade to push the point in, as compared to thrusting swords, which are just point and push. Most people may think that the saber is not great at thrusting. That is not correct. It's excellent at thrusting, it's excellent at getting around guards and swords, and it's even pretty good at getting around shields. It's just a matter of training and getting used to that different mechanic to it. How you parry the thrust? It's quite simple. All you do is put your blade on front and push the blade to the side with minimal effort. Both sides work the same. I'm going to show one of my favorite techniques, the slip. It works better with cut 1 and 2, diagonal from the top. What you do is get off the way of the blade and use that opening to cut into the enemy. That's to the left. As you can see, he leaves himself open and I can cut into his legs or his body. And to the right, which is more comfortable for me, which allows me to cut into his leg quite easily or get into his chest. The way we can practice at home is finding something we can hit with a sword, a solid piece of steel or something, and just go at it for a while. Yeah. What this allows you to do is get used to your sword getting stopped at the target and being able to change positions as you go. Short snip of Brian's attempt at fencing on blade and sorcery using the British saber. I highly recommend using VR for training, especially modded blade and sorcery, because not only can you add any sword you want into it and get a good understanding of how any weapon works whatsoever, but if you have nobody to train with, this is excellent. You have plenty of people to practice against, and as you can see, it's both very rewarding and very it'll give you a proper slap in the wrist when you fail at doing what you should be doing. It'll definitely work well if you do the right techniques. It'll definitely show you what you're doing wrong if you're doing things wrong. It's great. Plus, you can mod Blade and Sorcery with difficulty settings as well. One of my favorites are expert mode or enhanced difficulty. I think that's the name of the mod, which allows you to fight against the NPCs which do not telegraph as much what they're doing and attack very quickly, and also that includes thrusts and shield bashes. It's a lot more realistic. Thank you for watching this video. Hopefully it serves you well. Hopefully it's useful to you, both if you practice with us or not. And thank you, Mikolai, for being in the video. Thank you, Christopher, for being in the video. And thank you, Brian, for being in the video. You're all excellent fencers and excellent colleagues. Thank you all. See you next time.